In a really significant turn of events, Norway has unveiled a discovery that could potentially alleviate Europe's phosphorus shortages for the foreseeable future. So massive phosphate deposits located in southwestern Norway have been identified as a potential resource for electric vehicles, solar panels and fertilizers for the next 50 years or so. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I'm Ben Alexander and I make EV news videos every day, so please remember to subscribe to the channel to be shown my latest videos by YouTube. Feel free as well to let me know what you think in the comments at the end of the video. So the backstory of the discovery: the valuable ore was unearthed in Norway by Norway Mining by May in 2018. The company announced a find of 70 billion tons, a huge find, 70 billion tons of material, rich in phosphate, and it's a pivotal component in various green technologies and fertilizers. This couldn't have come, I don't think, at a better, more opportune time. This is just perfect. Given Europe's ongoing supply challenges, a lot of the stuff that we get currently is from Russia, has been, not so much at the minute. Back in 2012, the alarm with a report highlighting the impending phosphate shortages was kind of sounded. So whilst Russia boasts the largest deposits of phosphate, imports have kind of dwindled to very little, especially following the Ukraine invasion. So other nations like Morocco, China, Iran, Syria also have huge deposits. However, geopolitical issues, should we say, and wars have disrupted supply chains. So that's leading escalating fertilizer costs. That's kind of, if you've noticed that, I don't know if you may have noticed that. So the situation became super dire that scientists began using the term phosphageddon. I read this a couple of years ago without really paying much attention. So Professor Phil Haygarth of Lancaster University in the UK emphasised the need for smarter phosphorus utilisation, warning of potential calamities in the future. Echoing the sentiment as well, Bristol University's Professor Penny Johns stated, "There is no life on Earth without phosphorus," which is a big thing to say, isn't it? So while phosphate fertilisers are crucial for global food production, their runoff has been linked to algal blooms. Algal blooms. It sounds funny when I say that. So which endanger fish populations and release methane and other potential greenhouse gas. Michael Wormser, the founder and deputy CEO of Norway Mining, expressed the importance of the find in Euroactiv, stating that the discovery's scale in Europe surpasses known sources. He believes that the phosphorus produced will be pivotal for the West, or Europe, at least Europe, offering a degree of autonomy for us to carry on with the production of locally produced solar panels, etc., without the need to overly stress. That's kind of what this is bringing for us. So, however, refining phosphorus has been historically carbon intensive, leading to limited production in Europe. Norway Mining aims to counteract this by employing carbon capture and storage as well, although the effectiveness of such technologies remains heavily debated. It does use a huge amount of energy, but it definitely shouldn't be ruled out. And I also don't think that there is a problem with just companies planting trees in various places on Earth. Now, I'm of the belief that you should try to reduce your carbon footprint rather than just offset it by doing something good over there but bad over there. If you had to pick the two, I'm of the impression that it is better to just not produce the carbon in the first place if you can. So it all makes a massive difference. So whatever they do, it makes a big difference. But something that is close to my heart is clearing up the air that we breathe, where we actually live, where we actually reside and spend our time. That is horrendous for our bodies. So carbon removal will play some role in reaching net zero by 2030 or 2050, but doing so will require huge amounts of energy, huge amounts. It takes around 1200 kilowatt hours to remove a ton of carbon from the sky using direct air capture. So you do wonder if it's simply best to just plant trees, you know, which I know can be tricky. For example, the trees that were planted in Iceland in the 70s or 80s, they basically did okay for a while, but then the planet warmed slightly and then they all just died. That, I think, is in a nutshell. I don't remember the actual data on the Icelandic trees, so please don't quote me on that. In addition, the Phosphate site also revealed vast deposits of titanium essential for joint replacements and aircraft manufacturing, and vanadium, which strengthens steel. If you ever had chrome vanadium, for example, on your tools, it says it on your tools. So this recent deposit discovery has been celebrated to a degree, but it's essential to note that Norway's controversial stance on mining has not gone unnoticed. So the Norwegian government has expressed interest in exploring Arctic waters for deep sea mining. This is a big no-no, I think, for a lot of people. This decision comes on the heels of global leaders, including Norway, endorsing a global treaty, which was one day off from the announcement of this undersea mining. They all agreed to a big treaty, and critics argue that Norway's deep-sea mining plans rank among the country's most detrimental environmental decisions. So the government has proposed opening an oceanic area larger than the UK for Arctic mining. I think it's 281 square kilometres. So this proposal, set to be deliberated in the Norwegian Parliament later this year, targets a particularly sensitive Arctic region, raising environmental and, I would say, ethical concerns. So the irony is not lost in Norway. It's a place that I have lived, I have family, and a place that I love. It's a place that has a bit of money because of oil and gas, and now this new find of phosphate. However, they do produce a lot of clean electricity and have fantastic incentives for EVs in Norway. So they've been put on the internet a lot lately because of the uptake of EVs. However, I think we can all agree that they need to stop selling electricity to the continent, because it's making electricity in Norway very unaffordable for a lot of people that prop up the country's economy. So the actual citizens of Norway, the people that live there and keep the economy going really, really well, those people are being really screwed for a lot of money for their electricity at the minute. There are areas of Norway where the electricity in Norway went up 10 times the price within the space of 1 year. So can you imagine, wherever you live, can you imagine that? That's bonkers, and it isn't the Norway that I know. I don't know what's going on there. It's already an expensive place to live, and as a friend of mine said, are we supposed to freeze to death and not eat? What's going on? So I don't want Norway to stop being a sort of, I'd say almost utopian place to live, in my opinion, to becoming a place where politicians lose touch and it becomes a crappy place to live. There's a lot to lose in a place as lovely as Norway if they make silly decisions. While Scandinavia's ore discovery offers some hope for Europe for the phosphorus crisis, as it's called, it also underscores the delicate balance between resource extraction for all sorts of things and environmental preservation. We can't just go screwing the earth so we can make some solar panels. As the world grapples with sustainability and the idea of sustainability, and that's of course one of the things I talk about on the channel, these sort of discoveries and decisions will shape the future of global industries and ecosystems, and the future generations will take note of the ethics involved in these decisions. So thank you very much for watching to the end, and remember to press the like button for me so that YouTube know that you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching.